Hello everyone. Thank you for viewing this video on how to solve word problems involving the before and after concept. Alright, and the concept is on difference unchanged, and in some books it is known as constant difference. Right? So for this video, I'm showing you how to solve before and after concept on difference unchanged using ratio. Now, let me give you an outline on what is before and after concept. Now, there are before and after concepts. There are 4 types actually. Now, the first one is difference unchanged. In some books, it is known as constant difference. All right. Then the next one that we can see from here is one item unchanged, also known as constant variable, and the other is total unchanged. In some books, it's called constant total. Now, so these 3 before and after concepts, difference unchanged, one item unchanged, and total unchanged, they are actually taught in P5, all right, because they are easily understood. However, the next one, which is one item unchanged, is normally taught in P6 because it involves 2 variables, some similar to algebra. So you have to use a little bit more abstract method of solving, right? So for my video, I'm going to show you the first before and after concept, which is difference unchanged. All right. Then in my other videos that I'll be uploading, you will get to know the other 2, which is one item unchanged and total unchanged. Okay, let's move on. Now, I am explaining this concept, difference unchanged, constant difference, using this PSLE question from the year 2019, and it's a paper 2, question 10. All right, the method of solving goes like this. Before and after concept, difference unchanged, also known as constant difference. Now, this question is taken from the PSLE 2019, paper 2, question 10. Now, the question goes like this. At first, the ratio of the number of boys to the number of girls in a chess club was 4 to 1. After 6 boys and 6 girls joined the club, the ratio became 3 to 1. Question A is asking us to find out whether the percentage of members who are boys, was there an increase, decrease, or remain the same. Then for part B, we are supposed to find the number of boys in the club in the end. Okay, so let's go through the question from the very start, and using annotation, we will find out why it is a constant difference or difference unchanged concept. At first, the ratio of the number of boys to the number of girls in the chess club was 4 to 1. So from here, we know that this is a very important information. Okay, let's change okay, this one. Alright, so boys to girls, 4 to 1. Okay, so I'm going to write this down. Okay, so before boys to girls is 4 to 1. Okay, then I'm going to write down the after ratio, which is from here. This one. Okay, so the ratio became 3 to 1. So again, boys to girls, 3 to 1. Now, these two ratios happen because of 6 boys and 6 girls joining the club. Okay, so this is the one that we are aware of. Okay, alright. So both the boys and the girls have the same number of increase. The value added to the boys and the value added to the girls, they are the same. Both are 6. So when both boys and girls, the two items, the values are added equally, we can conclude that it must be difference unchanged concept. Okay, so because it is a difference unchanged concept, I can introduce difference here, diff, and also here, diff. Right, so the difference for the before ratio is 3, 4 minus 1 is 3, and the difference for the after ratio is 2, 3 minus 1 is 2. Now, looking at this 2, we can conclude that the difference definitely they are not the same. Alright, this is 3, this is 2. So both differences are definitely not the same. So what we have to do is to make sure that the difference before and the difference after the two units, both must be the same value, the same units. So we apply what we have learned in primary 4, common multiple. Okay, so the first ratio, we multiply the first ratio by 2. So like that, times 2, so that we get the difference 6 units, and we also have to multiply the after ratio by 3, so that the difference becomes 6. Okay, so bearing this in mind, I'm going to move on to the next slide to continue from here. So let me rewrite. So before and after, you have, let me rewrite this again. Okay, alright. So we have 4 to 1 gives me 3, and what we did was we times 2 here, and then over here we have 3 is to 1 give us 2, and then we times 3 here, and we have equivalent ratios for both before and after. So the equivalent ratio for before is 8 is to 2 is to 6, and the equivalent ratio for after is 9 is to 3 is to 6. Okay, now we know again very well that 6 boys and 6 girls join the club. So let's double check. Okay, now the boys is from 8 units and become 9. So there's an increase of 1 unit. Okay, increase of 1 unit. Sorry, I have to put the plus here. Increase of 1 unit. Okay, now then for the girls, also increase of 1 unit. So from here I can conclude that 1 unit is 6. Alright, so once we have something like this, 1 unit increase for the boys for 1 item, and 1 unit increase for the girls, the other item, it shows that it is equal added. So equal added means difference unchanged. So from here we can continue and say that if 1 unit equals 6, we can actually find the number of boys before and the number of boys after. So we take the latest value, right, which is here and here, right? So boys before is 8 units, so let's find 8 units will be 8 times 6, that gives me 48. And boys, okay, I will label this as boys before, right? And then 9 units will be 9 times 6, that gives me 54. This will be boys after. Okay, now, so we know that there were 48 boys at first and 54 boys in the end. Okay, so having this in mind, let's move on to the next slide. So let me write down what we have gathered. Boys before and boys after. So boys before, we have 48 boys before in the club, and then when 9 boys joined the club and it became, when 6 boys joined the club, it became 54. Alright, so we have these two information. Now, I think we should be able to do part A now. Part A is asking us whether the percentage of the members who are boys increase, decrease, or remain the same. Okay, so for this question, we can actually do it using their initial ratio. Okay, their initial ratio. Now, if you can remember, this one, the equivalent ratio is 8:2. This one, the equivalent ratio is 9:3. Okay, now, so this being the boys 8 units before and boys 9 units after. Alright, okay, now to find out whether the percentage is an increase or decrease, we need to have another information. We need to have the total. So the total is 10 here, the total is 12 here. Okay, alright, now to do part A, I'm going to do it here. To do part A, we already know that, okay, the percentage boys for before should be 8 out of 10 times 100%. Right, 8 units of boys at first out of 10 units of students at first, multiply by 100%. Okay, alright, this gives us 80%. So 80% represent the percentage of members who are boys at first. Okay, so I put here boys percentage before. Now for boys percentage after, we do likewise. So 9 out of 12 times 100%. Okay, so if you multiply carefully, we should get 75%. So this is boys percentage after. So from here we can conclude that the answer for part A, there is a decrease. Alright, there's a decrease in the percentage of members who are boys. So part A is done. Alright, now for part B, we will use back this information here. Okay, for part B, we will use this information here. Alright, okay, so let me go to the next slide. Now, in the end, how many boys were there in the club? Okay, actually we have already solved the question. Okay, if you refer to the previous slide, okay, so the answer for this one will be 54. my apology to you. You couldn't really see part of the answers because of my camera. Yeah. Okay. Feel free to play back the video that I have actually embedded into the slide. Right? Feel free to go back and revisit and walk through again how to tackle part A and part B. All right, let me move on. Now, after knowing the answer for part A and part B, right, we know that this question is involving equal added. So when it is equal added, immediately we know that it is difference unchanged concept. Now, for difference unchanged concept, right, we are aware that there are a few clues that we need to get from the question. We need to retrieve a few keywords from the question. So the first one is already mentioned in our question 10, right? Is equal added. So if you have a value that is equal added to both items, then it must be a difference unchanged concept, right? Same thing. If it's equal removed, that means if we removed the same value from both items, it has also got to do with difference unchanged concept. Now another one that is the third type, okay, which is you may have seen before, is age difference. Now age difference is also a difference unchanged concept, right? A very good example would be the current age of grandpa and Ali, right? Versus grandpa's age 10 years later and Ali's age 10 years later. Their difference in age, the age gap, should never change. So it's difference unchanged, right? Okay, you will know more of how to go about solving questions involving equal removed and age gap in my other videos. So for us to solve word problems involving before and after concept difference unchanged, we must always look for clues by doing annotation. So after doing annotation, we should be able to gather important clues, and the clues will help us to understand how to solve the question by applying the correct concept. Without wasting time thinking and trying, we can actually get on to solving the question once we have the clues, right? So one more time, difference unchanged concept involving keywords like equal added, equal removed, and age question. Now in my new videos to be uploaded, I will share with you how to tackle questions involving before and after concept on total unchanged, on one item unchanged, and many others. All right. Okay. Now, if you like my video on the PSI question difference unchanged, do click on the bell button. Do subscribe to my channel, and then remember to like my video, and do share with friends who want to know more about this concept, difference unchanged. Once again, thank you for listening to me, to my explanation, my sharing. Oh yes, and do feel free to scan the QR code at this corner here, all right, to visit my Facebook. Thank you once again, and goodbye. See you.